everyone, and welcome to my new video. And what is this video about? Well, the question is, can I slice breaks with one of these? This is a PlayStation 3 controller, and as of Max 8, they had an object called Gamepad, which made connecting things like this to your computer much easier. And so I thought, I wonder if I could chop up breaks with it, because I like to chop up breaks, and I thought it would be fun to try and do it with this. However, I have not thought how I'm going to do this at all. So I'm pretty much just vlogging this. This is somewhere between a regular video and a live stream. I'm not going to edit it. I'm pretty much going to go warts and all to try and work out if I can achieve this task and flex my Cycling 74 certified trainer muscles in your face. Well, maybe not, because that sounds a bit gross, actually. So what I'm going to do is zoom in a bit, turn on the grid, and I believe that my PlayStation controller is connected. So this one, it says it's not connected. There's another one, is there? Well, can we get rid of that one? Erase controller settings. Erase controller settings. So this one looks like it's connected. If I click identify, it does a little vibration. Let's watch that again. It moved. Okay, so that one is connected. I'll keep that open just in case. So now all we need to do is just create a gamepad object, and I'm going to I'm going to option click the help file and have a look at. Okay, so it looks like everything's connected. That's fine. So I click the things. Everything does the thing. It says it's red, but that's kind of, I don't know. I don't understand. Let's work it out as we go. So I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to unlock the patch. I'm going to take all of this stuff and just copy it into my main patch. And then eventually I'm going to put this into Max for Live so you can do this in Ableton. So let's just go paste. And okay, so I think that thing doesn't really need to be that big. Now I need to get access to the messages, which is in this output messages subpatcher here. So what I'm actually going to do then is move that over there. I move it down here and go to edit and go, no, not edit. Is it edit? Yeah, edit, de-encapsulate. Okay, so now I have all of the message from the buttons so that I can, and it all seems to be still connected. That's fine. Okay, so what I was thinking I could do was that you could have a button to start the slicing, and then this stick could maybe move the start position around the loop, and up and down could maybe be the length of the loop window. So it could be a 16th note, an 8th note, 3 16th notes or something. And then you can kind of move around like that. And then you could have like, this one maybe could do other things, like the sample plays backwards, it's pitched up or something. And then you could have, I don't know, different quantized settings. So we could have like, this could be a bar, this could be a quarter note, 8th note or something, I don't know. And then these ones, maybe you can load other sounds in and do switch sounds and go all breakcore. It's gamepad breakcore. Right, so what am I going to do? How am I going to achieve this? Well, first of all, I need to make a decision over how I'm going to load and play the sound. So I'm going to make a buffer. I'm going to call the buffer, I'm going to call it -- game slice with no other arguments. Now I put the -- in there because that means that when we load it later, and if we load it again, it'll create a unique ID for each instance of the device that's loaded, which means that it doesn't get confused when reading samples or stuff like that. So everything that we're going to use to reference that buffer needs to have the same -- game slice name. So what we could do now is make a waveform. Let's say waveform at buffer name -- game slice. And there's nothing in there at the moment. And then I'm going to go with a replace message, replace, and I'm going to click the replace button, and it's going to navigate me to my folder of classic breaks, which I did sometime last year. I can't remember. And I'm going to go with Hot Pants, because I know that that's 2 bars long. Right, it's loaded in the buffer. Beautiful. So I'm just going to get the transport up. Let's get the transport up. Let's have a look at the tempo. Okay, and then let's make a toggle for the tempo. Okay, so let's go for 160. And now we need to make a decision how we're going to read back the buffer. I like to use wave and phaser. So let's make a wave tilde dash 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 game slice. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's make that a bit smaller. I want to make this all nice and clear visually. So wave tilde needs to be read by a phaser, which is nice because the position is from 0 to 1 and a phaser goes from 0 to 1. This is good. I like this. So I'm going to say phaser 2.0.0, which means it's going to make a ramp from 0 to 1 over the course of 2 bars at the tempo specified by the transport. Let's move that down there. Put that there. Now if I need to turn on the DSP. Now if I start the transport, the phaser is ramping. Now if I make a live gain, connect my, we go. Right, there we go. Little max crash. Oh, nice. Right, let's try that again. So let's connect the wave to the live gain and then the phaser to the wave. Turn that down. Yes, okay, I'm fine with that. Thank you. Don't show again. Right, okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Turn the grid back on. Let's connect the live gain to the DSP. Let's turn on the DSP, start the transport, and see if we've got hot pants. No, because there's no sample in there. Let's load the sample again. Let's go to hot pants. Where is hot pants? There it is. No, okay, right, probably because I'm not using the right audio. So let's go to, let's go to Tascam model. Output device 9 and 10. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, this is the one. This is the one. There it is. All right, let's save this in case we get another crash. Let's go save as. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Someone's messaging me on Discord. Sorry, I don't have time for that right now. Game Slice by Ned Rush. Okay. Game Slice added to the file. Right, so let's start with working out how we're going to create the sort of slice start position. So the reason why I like phaser is because you can do things to the waveform to make it behave in a certain way that has an impact on the way that it reads back the sample. So if I was to, for example, say, right, I'm going to make a constant signal of 1 because we're working from 0 to 1. So I'm going to make a constant signal of 1 and I'm going to divide that number by how many slices I want in my sample. Now this is a 2-bar loop. So I'm going to say slice it 16 times and then that is going to give me 8th notes. And then, so that effectively will be the amount of slices. So that means that, well, 1 divided by 16 is 0.625. So we're going to multiply that number by how many slices we want our loop to be. And then we're going to add to that to change the start position. So I'm first going to make an integer for how many I want to slice, an integer for how many slices I want to loop, and then another one for the start position. We'll worry about that in a minute. So in order to say that we want to slice into 16ths, we want to slice this 2-bar sample into 16 slices. I'm going to click here. I'm going to go Shift N. I'm going to go modulo 0. And I'm going to take the output of this little bit of maths here and connect that to that. And then what happens is that kind of makes the, if I say divide by 16, multiply by 1, then that you can see what's happening here. The ramp is ramping at the same speed, but it's only ramping 1/16 of the wave. So let's have a look at that in more depth. So you can see that when this starts at the beginning, these are all in time, but they're only ramping 1/16 of that phaser ramp. So if we have a listen to that, it sounds like this. So it's looping the first 2 8th notes. Cool. So if we say this 3, so it's looping 3 16th notes, which is 3 8th notes because it's a 2-bar. This might have been better to use a 1-bar loop, but I've done it with 2 bars now. It's too late. But we'll be able to change all of this as we go. So, yeah, then we need to work out how we're going to move around. So we're going to make another modulo here. It all happens between the phaser and the wave. We're going to make another modulo here. We're going to say modulo 1 so that no matter what happens, we're always going to be within the region of 0 to 1. And then we're going to add a value here. So we can have a look at that. Now, yeah, we're still working in the region of 0 to 1. So I need to take this number here. So this is how big our loop window is. So let's just say it's 1. 1/16 of 2 bars, which is an 8th note. And then let's take this number here. And yeah, we multiply that by the position. So let's take another one of these things here. And then this is going to be our start position. So let's take that multiplication there. So if we multiply by 0, that's going to be at the start. If we multiply by 1, that is going to be the first 16th note. So all we need to simply do is take this number and add that to our so this is our offset, our sample offset. So now, okay, so listen to what happens. If I go to 0 here, zoom in a bit more. We're at the start of the loop. Now we're at the next 8th note, the snare. So now we're moving through the sound, and if you look at the waveform of the phaser, you can see how it's moving. And then when we get back to here, okay, we've gone out of the range of 0 to 1, but that's okay because we've wrapped it back around here. So no matter what happens, we're always going to keep, but we don't need to go into those types of numbers. So you can see how the waveform is moving. Okay, cool. So I'm going to use the left joystick. Let's hope it's still connected. This is the crunch point when it's disconnected again. This is stupid. Oh my God. Okay, now it's connected again. Right, okay. So I'm going to use the left stick to do the sample offset and the left stick Y axis up and down to do the length. Let's see how that works. So let's take so this is our stick left stick X. Let's take that number and convert that to a signal. This is going to be very, very messy to manage, but let's just try it. So that is going from -1, -1 to 1. So first thing we probably want to do is scale that to the amount of slices that we have. It doesn't have to be the same amount of slices, but let's just do it anyway. Let's go scale. We'll do it as a signal. We'll do scale -1 to 1, and we'll say 0 float to 15. And we're going to want to make sure that the output absolutely unconditionally rounds to an integer. So we can do that with the round tilde object, which is just absolutely one of the best objects ever been invented ever. So let's connect that and let's have a look at the output. Right, so yeah, not happening. Not happening there. Let's see what's coming out of here. Maybe let's put a sig. Let's put a sig in here. Sig 0. Okay, now we're getting some. Yeah, now we're getting some numbers. Beautiful. Now I kind of want this to happen on the beat. So I'm going to make a sample and hold to say. I'm going to make a signal-based quantize with a sample and hold. So I'm going to make a phaser here. Phaser. Let's say the phaser is 8N at lock 1. Whoops, at lock 1. That is going to make a phaser ramp at 8th notes. And I'm going to trigger that use that as a trigger for my sample and hold, which is going to take the start position number. So let's make an SAH, which is sample and hold. And I'm just going to use watt tilde 0. That is going to give me a single trigger at the start of the phaser ramp. Let's connect that to the sample and hold. And then now when I adjust the X and Y position, right, yeah, it's going to do it on the 8th note of the tempo. So we can connect that number to this, which is our sample offset, and have a listen to what's happening. Yeah, it's working. So I'm moving the left stick left and right, and we're moving around the sample. So we could actually have a little visual representation here of what's going on with the waveform. So I'm going to take a snapshot every 1 millisecond of the output of the signal that's driving the wave, and make a slider. And let's just put the slider from something like a range of 1. Let me do that. And then if we maybe connect let's have it going horizontally, I mean. Right, yeah, so there we go. So now that's showing us where in the sample we are. Okay. Let's go a little bit faster. Let's go 160 BPM, and let's save this. Let's save the patch. This is quite a lot of work. Yeah, it's working. So I'm moving the left stick on the X-axis to jump to the different start positions. Okay, cool. So now let's do the same thing with the XY to determine the loop size or the window or the slice size. So this is all going quite well. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that. Don't need these numbers really. We'll tidy this all up later. It's going to be quite an undertaking. Doing this as a video is a terrible idea. Too late now, I've started. Right, so we're going to do the same thing here. We kind of need to make a decision over how big our maximum size is going to be. I probably might go for something like 16th notes, 8th notes, 3/8 notes, a quarter note. Let's just try 1 to 4 to start with. So we'll take the left Y stick stuff and we'll kind of copy all this. Oh my goodness me, not in there. Right, connect the output this output floating number to this sig here. And then let's connect this from let's scale this, from 1 to 4 and round to 1. And then we'll use the same sample and hold here to sort of quantize that. And then let's see what we get. So now if I move the left stick up and down, you can see here that we're getting all the way down is 1, all the way up is 4, in the middle is 2. So the idea is that you can sort of move around in a circle and you'll get a different start position and a different loop point. So let's connect that now to this number. This is really difficult to explain visually, but we'll work it out as we go. Let's have a listen to this now, see what this is like. There we go, that's cool. So so I'm kind of pulling all the way down on the left stick, but if I move kind of in a semicircular motion at the bottom, that's like I'm moving through the sample with a value of 1, which is an 8th note. Already that sounds jungle as fuck, in my opinion. And then if I move the stick up on the Y-axis, the window gets bigger. That's it. That's the video done. That's it. I mean, could kind of keep going, but I think this could be a multi-parter video because to sort of tutorialize this could be like quite quite a long video. Not everyone's got the time, but that's not a bad start. So maybe what we could do now is think about, I'll try and pack this into a Max for Live. And then this is going to be like a series, I think. Probably I'll have to come back and add things as I go. Otherwise, we're going to be here for hours. It's going to be a 4-hour video. No one wants that. So, but one thing I would like to do maybe is use this left trigger to say, open and close the phaser to let the reading of the sample come through. So we'll do that by moving all of this junk out of the way, put that up there, and then this is as simple as doing a gate. Number of outlets only just needs to be 1, and that is where the signal is going to go in. It's going to come out here, and then I think we can use another signal here. Yes, to open and close that gate to let the phaser through, which is going to come from this left trigger here. So let's get that, put that over there, left trigger. And again, we'll put that to a signal. And again, I want to sample and hold. So why don't we maybe say, let's make an S send tilde dash 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 quant, or quantize, let's just spell it properly. And then we can send this value around the patch to control. I want everything to have the same quantize. So let's put this over here, and then let's do an SAR here. That signal comes in there. This needs to be receive quantize, receive quantize, that goes in there, and then we connect the output of that to the gate. And then now on every, well, in this case, 8th notes, but whatever we set with this phaser, it's going to open and close the gate and let the reading of the sample come through. Let's see if it's working. Let's put the volume up. Yes. It's a little clicky. Yeah, so I wonder if I can slide that, or maybe do like a, let's have a look at the signal here. See what's, I wonder if I did like a slide. Would slide work, or is gate like a binary? Let's try slide by 1,000 samples, 1,000 samples up and 1,000 samples down, and just see if that maybe gets rid of the click. We don't really want any clicks. No, that's fucked it. Okay, clicks it is. Right, so it's just yeah, it's a little janky, but it's a good start. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that as a starting point. Let's save this. I mean, a lot of these things, some of these things we're not really going to use. I'm not planning to use them. I really just want the triggers, these buttons, and the sticks. So all of this trackpad stuff, don't even know where that is. We don't really need any of that. Start, back, guide, miss, touchpad, press. Yeah, I mean, some of these I don't need. I'll maybe delete them outside of this video. But anyway, so let's do a little recap and maybe try and tidy this up a little bit. So let's zoom back in. So we've loaded in our sample, and we've said it's all happening in between the phaser and the wave. This is where we're doing all of the stuff. And because we're working between 0 and 1, we're effectively breaking the range of 0 and 1 into the amount of slices that we have. So I've said I want 16 slices. If I change this to 32, we're going to get a higher resolution of samples. So now we're really in 16th notes. And it's all really nicely in time because we're triggering the signal. We're not triggering the signals. The signals are being passed on 8th notes. So if I was to change this phaser here, which we could do now with a live menu, let's make a live menu, and go to the prototype and then say note values. These are the note values that Ableton works at. We can connect the output of this live menu here, and we can say, right now we want a quantize of 2n, which is 2 beats. Nothing's stopped working. Has it? Okay. So now when I change anything, it's going to be on a 2 note. So the stopping and starting is quite nice. And then now if I change this to 16th notes, it's all going to happen on a 16th note. So I'm going to keep it at 8th notes. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, we're going to need some... I'm going to leave that stuff like this. It's going to be very janky when I put this into Max for Live, but this is part one of this series on making... excuse me, more texts. Making a Gamepad slicer. But I do want to make a Max for Live version right now. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to say, how many slices do we want? Okay, so let's make a live number box. And in the inspector, we'll say that we want the type to be integer, and we want, let's say we want 2 slices up to 64 slices. Initial and label, enabled, we'll say 16. And we'll give it a name. We shall say slices. And the long name is slices. And the scripting name is slices. And then that is going to be how many slices we want to slice by. We can delete that number box now. This is the loop window. We don't need that anymore because that's being controlled by the the left Y. That is pretty much all of it to start with. Let's get rid of that, And, oh yeah, let's maybe try the live drop file. So let's do live.drop file. And let's do prepend replace and connect that. So we'll add this to the presentation. So I'm going to go Command-Shift-P. Now they are in the presentation. I'm going to save this now, save. And I'm going to go to Ableton. I'm going to load up Ableton. Let Ableton. Quick vape break. Just put a new coil in my vape and it's not pleasant. Anyway, you don't care about that. Right, let's go to... right, what's going on here? Come on, browser. Right, let's go to Max for Live, Max Instrument. Let's drop that in there. Let's open that up. That's going to open. Okay, that's open. Let's close the console. Don't need to know about Max 9 for now. Right, let's unlock this. Select everything. Copy. Go to... where's the other one? Right, my computer's starting to jank on me now. Where's the other? Damn it. There it is. Okay. Right, let's paste that all in there. Okay. And then let's go back to this other patch. We'll save that, close that, and then close that. Don't need that for now. And then this one, we're going to save this as a Max for Live thing. Let's go save as. It's going to save as a Max for Live instrument. I don't want to save it in that folder though. I want to save it to my desktop. I'm going to call it Game Slice Part 1 by Ned Rush. Game Slice Part 1. And save that. Right, so we don't need the transport because we're using Live's transport. We don't need that because we're using Live's plug out. So let's connect that there, connect that there. A couple of other things. These are quite useful to check it's working, but I'm fairly confident it should all work. Let's put it into presentation mode. Let's zoom out a little bit. Right, I need to go to the inspector. This is stuff that you need to do when you're Max for Live, when you're making Max for Live, right? You need to go to the patcher inspector, go open in presentation. We can close that. Then we can take all of this stuff and put it somewhere. Let's put the gamepad thingy here. This is quite useful to check that it's working. Let's go drop some. I want the waveform in there as well. Yeah, I want the waveform. We'll select the waveform in the little slider. That's going to go in the presentation too. Let's put that there. Let's put the live gain on the end, and let's put the, so this is how many slices we want, and this is the quantize. Let's zoom in and put a comment here, comment slices, and then put a comment here for quantize. Quantize. Let's rename this to volume. Let's make it a little bit neat. Okay, that is probably a good enough start. Let's go to view, set device width. Zoom out a little bit, bring that in. And that all should be good. Okay, I'm going to save that. Let's go save. Save as game slice part 1. Close. Let's go into Ableton. Let's see if the thing is working. Okay, looks like it's working. Looks like everything's connected. Look down here. Let's go get a sound. Let's go to let's go and get Hot Pants. Where's Hot Pants? Let's get Hot Pants. We're going to drag Hot Pants onto here. It's loaded. Is the transport running? I can't see. Okay, move my camera a little bit. It's right in front of the transport. Okay, the transport's running. Let's see if this is... Okay, no, we need to... I need to set my audio output. Okay, beautiful. It's working. Right, let's put the tempo up to jungle speed. Let's go 164, 163. Okay. Okay, let's set the quantize to 1/8 notes. 16 slices is fine. Let's go. Let's go. So you can see down where my mouse is, that slider is indicating where we are in the sample. So I'm pulling all the way down on the left stick, which is the slice window size. That's Y, and then X is the position. So you can see we're looping in 16th note, 8th notes. I'm scrubbing through the sound. And if we want to change the quantize to 16th notes, we can do that here. And everything's going to be faster. Or we could do it to 1 bar. We can wait till the bar starts and then it's going to start. And it's going to move to that new position. Yeah, I like 8th notes though. So this could be a fun little thing to show off with at gigs. Like, they'll go, look, I'm playing music, which is kind of funny. I remember when someone like, sort of, I saw something on social media that was like, look, this bro is actually playing music. And I realized that what they meant was they're playing the music like a computer game. But I wonder if they thought, you know, that people have been playing music for centuries. It was cute. So yeah, I think in the next video, I'm going to look at ways to have the right stick do something, like maybe it's going to do some effects or change the way in which the sample's being played back. These maybe could do something and these could maybe do something. No idea what to do with these, or indeed this one. Maybe that could enable the right stick. So yeah, this trigger sort of is enabling the left stick. Maybe this one could enable the right stick. You know what? There's something I forgot to put in, which is really important. We need to give the user... We need to get... Damn it. Okay. We need to give the user the option to specify... Well, they're going to need to specify how long the sample is in bars. So... Well, or how long the break is. So this is... It's kind of for breaks. I want this to be for breaks. It obviously doesn't have to be, but let's just move that out there. So let's make a pack... 200 and connect that, and then we'll have a number. We'll take this number here. let's just check what this is in the expected 2. So let's say it's 1, 2, 4. Let's just say it's 4 bars. And then let's call this loop length. Let's go copy, come out, copy, come out, go in there, paste, come out, go in there, paste. Okay. And let's put a comment in here as well. Loop length in bars. And then that can go into the first inlet of the pack. And then that will enable us to, so if we drop a sample in and we know it's a bar long, we can just change this number to 1 and then the phaser will be at the right rate. So we need to put that in our patch as well. And that's nice. That can just go up there. And then let's go save. Close it. Let's go back to Ableton. Give the pad a bit of a wiggle. Okay, it seems to be working. So now I've told that the bar is, that the loop is 4 bars. So let's put this to 2. Beautiful. You know what, wouldn't it be cool if we could have the waveform in 3D space in Jitter? Yeah, maybe we'll do that another time. Okay, so that is all I've got the patience for to do. I kind of thought, oh, this would be easy, but no, it's going to be quite a lot of work. So there we go. That is the end of part 1 of how to slice breaks in Max for Live with a gamepad. Now, if you have a gamepad like this, and you have Max for Live and you have Ableton, and you'd like to get access to this without having to go through the work of following it along, it'll be on my Patreon. And then this is the beginning. This is the beginning of a new series of how we can chop up samples with one of these. So I hope you found that very useful. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Your support on Patreon is so valuable to me. In fact, it's essential. I can't live without it. I am literally living off you people. So thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a nice time. Bye.